folks, welcome back to My Kitten Reads. I'm Eleanor and this is my slightly delayed December wrap-up. So yeah, I've been still fighting illness the last couple of weeks, so my energy levels have been all over the place. So I'm a little bit more delayed with this video than I would like, but here we go. As I mentioned in my previous video about my goals for 2018 and 2019, I did achieve my 120 books in 2018. I did so by reading 12 things in December, all the way up to the last couple of things on December the 31st. So I did actually read quite a lot. Most of it was digital, however. But I did start the year on a couple of books that were on my series list. So the first thing I read in December was Seanan McGuire's Tricks for Free, which is the most recent of the encrypted novels. So I'm now up to date on this. I believe the next encrypted novel is coming out this year, but currently I'm up to date. So this is the second book about Antimony. I think it's the second book about Antimony, who is the youngest of the three siblings in the Price family. And so this is a direct follow-on pretty much from the previous book, Magic for Nothing. This is, of course, the book with the Aislinn mice. It's about the family of cryptozoologists. I won't spoil too much, but there are theme park shenanigans going on. Yes, so that was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it, even if there was a distinct lack of Aislinn mice for plot reasons. But there is actually a little novella in the back of the book, which is an entirely Aislinn mice story. So that made up for it. So yes, that is Tricks for Free by Seanan McGuire. I also read the next in my read-along of the Kerry Greenwood Miss Friday Fisher Mysteries books. So these are the books that the Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries TV show is based on. This one was Urn Burial. So in this particular one, Friday is holidaying at a house in the country, in the Victorian countryside, but there are death threats to her host. There are lethal traps that almost catch Friday or other people, and then there is a parlourmaid who is found strangled to death. So yeah, this does have a few questionable stereotypes of Asian people in it, because we have the character of Lynne, who is Friday's sort of temporary paramour who's appeared in previous books, and it is the 1930s. So yeah, it's a bit awkward to read sometimes, but still a great deal of fun and an interesting mystery, and I really, really enjoyed myself. So then I am going to go to my Kindle, which is what I read pretty much everything on while I was away. With its shiny new cover, I was quite pleased. So I'll group them all into a big group. I read 5 issues of Uncanny magazine. I'm still about half a year behind, so I've still got about 3 Uncanny magazine issues that I haven't read yet. But I read 5. So it was issues 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22. Probably my favourite of all of them was issue 19, which was the November-December 2017 issue, which unfortunately means too late to nominate any of those stories for Hugo's. But there were some really good stories. There was one by Sam J. Miller and Lara Elena Donnelly, which has some really great LGBTQ historical type themes. There was a story by Tansy Roberts, who I love. There was a Sarah Monet story that was really lovely. But yeah, so I read 5 issues of Uncanny magazine. I can't even remember off the top of my head all the stories that were in it. It was like this blitz of reading Uncanny magazine. But I'm a lot closer to being caught up than I was when I started. So that's 7 things that I read in December. I also read a whole bunch of novellas. The first one that I read was Merry Christmas Valkyrie by Tansy Roberts. This is one of the recent 12th Planet Press Christmas novellas. So this one was a bit of a fantasy set in Tasmania, bit of a lesbian romance, just a hint. And basically it was about a girl who is a weather girl. She does the weather reports on a Tasmanian TV channel, and she has been hiding the fact that she comes from a specific small town which always has snow, particularly at Christmas, but there is always snow in the town of I've forgotten what the name of the town was now. But yes, and so it involves a whole bunch of Norse mythology based stuff, and magic, and it's Christmas, and there's snow, and there are shenanigans. Of course. I also read Icefall by Stephanie Gunn, which is another 12th Night Press novella that was released this year. This is a science fiction piece, and it's also got a lesbian romance. In fact, the main character whose perspective we're looking for is married to a woman, and she's watching on as her wife attempts to climb the unclimbable mountain in the world, in the galaxy, whatever it is. So, there's space travel, and there's this mysterious mountain that no one has ever actually been able to get to the top of. They all end up losing track and dying and being caught by the mountain and released later. It's a bit weird, but so it's really a very intriguing story. Makes you so much more interested in mountaineering. Even if you have no interest in mountaineering, it's actually really interesting, and it draws on a lot of the history of mountaineering. So yeah, that was really good. I also read The Lost Child of Lychford and A Long Day in Lychford, which are books 2 and 3 in Paul Cornell's Lychford novella series from Tor.com. I read the first Lychford book ages ago and just had never gotten around to reading the next 2. I'm not sure if it's a complete trilogy. Certainly Paul left the door open for more books, but I haven't heard anything about whether there will be more or not. So this is a series set in a little country village in England, where there's an old lady that is rude to everybody, there's a young woman who runs the magic pagan shop, and there's a new female vicar. And the 3 of them turn out to be Lychford's only defence from threats that come across the unknown borders of the world. So from other worlds, from fairyland, so I read books 2 and books 3, which were really, really quite good and a bit dark, particularly Lost Child of Lychford, and particularly also in A Long Day in Lychford, there was a lot of Brexit commentary from the perspective of a woman of colour, and it was quite difficult to read at times, but still really good. So that brings me up to the last thing that I read, which was a comic, which was issue 3 of Shuri by Nnedi Okorafor. I picked it up when I got back on the 31st of December actually. I picked it up from my comic shop and I read it, and it's the continuing adventures of Shuri as she searches for her brother who is lost in space, basically. She spends pretty much all of this issue astrally projected into space, and she meets Groot and Rocket Raccoon from the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is kind of fascinating and very, very weird. But yeah, so that was a great deal of fun as well. And those are the 12 things I read in December. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know if you liked them or if you're interested in any of them in the comments down below. And I will see you all again really soon. Bye.